If you appreciate our content, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. That will really help us to reach more people. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. We're going to start out with a Daniel Nahmad song called Up, Up, Up. So I invite you to stand up, and we're going to do this song called Up, 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 Higher Place. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Repeat that. High, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Here we go. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more forward, no more backward. No more spinning around and around. My life is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it all. My life is destined, oh, for greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. All right, good job.
Good morning, Unity. One more time, good morning, Unity. Help me welcome Reverend Gordon Keyler.
Good morning, everybody, and congratulations to all of you tough people who made it out in the cold this morning. And that was a good choice of the song. You probably noticed, like I did when we first got here, that we were spinning round and around coming into the parking lot. Fortunately, the city got on it. Oh, so how y'all doing? All right, you all excited? All right, we are going to learn lots today and celebrate lots, but is there anybody here for the very first time? Welcome. We are so glad you are here with us. Yes, welcome home. We want you to know we see you. We see your hopes, your dreams, your struggles, and most importantly, we see your light. And whatever brought you here today, we pray that you will find it, whether it be seeking community, spiritual healing, spiritual growth, or a warm cup of coffee and good friends. We're glad you're here with us. And if you didn't get a welcome packet, please be sure you do, and please be sure I get to say hello to you personally after the service, and join us for refreshments. Okay, our social media check-in today is, I am whole, divine, and ready. Let's say that together. I am whole, divine, and ready. Ready for... Roland, thank you. He's got a lot of zeal today. Ready for what? We'll find out. Once you have checked in, though, on your phone, please put it on Do Not Disturb. And I would like to mention that we have a bass guitarist, Jeffrey Ellis. Thank you. We are so glad you are here with us. Wonderful to have you be a part of our Soul Shine Band. And of course, Bill is here today too. I'll let Michael do the introductions. And so now I will turn it over to Michael, and I'll sit down and be quiet for a few minutes.
Thank you, Gordon. So here's some announcements for January 19th, 2025. So this Sunday, tonight, Soul Share. If you missed it last week, we started a new service called Soul Share. Soul Share is an opportunity to take a deep dive in the metaphysics of the Sunday lesson. Modeled after the original Unity Sunday experience presented by the Fillmores, similar to the Buddhist satsang, we will gather together informally and explore unity metaphysics through a deeper teachings of the Sunday topic. Meditation, questions and answers from all participants are, encouraged. It's tonight at 6:30. We had a good crowd last week, and we're hoping for a good crowd tonight. So please come. It's a lot of fun. There will be an interactive experience with everyone having the opportunity to share their ideas and understanding and learn from one another. So today, tapping is happening right after the service at 11:45 to 12:45 with Chris Acklin in Classroom 4. There will be a love offering. If you don't know what tapping is, it's the emotional freedom technique, EFT. Is also known as tapping. It is a technique that has been around since 1985. It's an acupuncture point. Their acupuncture points are tapped in sequence to help release physical and emotional pain. The positive effects are quick and long-lasting. All right. There will be an annual meeting happening January 26, 2025, right after the service. Reports about the past year at Unity Spiritual Center and the elections of the new Board of Trustee members. All reports are available online. If you would like a printed copy, please contact the office. And if you're planning on staying, we'll have burritos. Today is the last day that you can actually get your burrito. Pay for your burrito. You can get your burrito on Monday, on next Sunday, sorry. So payments by cash, check, or website, select the YFM. There will be no sales next Sunday. So the burritos are $5. Get a lot. They can freeze well. So sales will help the YOU projects and rally. If you're interested in any of the above classes or meetings, please check out the USC website, online newsletter, or call the office for more detailed information. Okay, so our worship team. Sue Eaton is our trustee of the day. I am Michael Small. I'm your platform host. Thank you. Prayer chaplains is Susie Orchard and Martine Backman. And you can find them on either side of the sanctuary. They're there to pray with you or even talk with you if you like. If you can't meet with them, there are prayer slips behind the chairs or in front of you, and then you can drop them off. There's a place in the foyer where you can actually drop them off. Todd Lowry is our music director. Along with Todd Lowry is our Unity Soul Shine Band. So go ahead. So today we have Jeff Ellis, as Gordon just said, and Sharon Eldridge. Woo! The soloist is Bill Brooks. And our AVLM team is Sal, Austin, and Ellen, and Elizabeth. And we want to say a special thank you to Tiffany Vincent, our YFM director, and Barbara Billebrand, the YOU director, who is in Texas, San Antonio, with our youth. And we also want to say thank you to our ushers and hospitality team as well. Sue, you want to come on up?
Good morning, everyone. I see a lot of sweaters today. Reminds me of being back in Illinois. Please join me in speaking our mission, vision, and core values. We'll start with our vision. Centered in love, we see a harmonious world of divine expression. Our mission, we inspire spiritual growth through honoring many paths, education, prayer, sacred service, and abundant living. And our core values, we are Christ-centered, loving, inclusive, joyous, uplifting, open-minded, and fun. And now please join me in saying our Unity Credo. We believe all people are created with sacred worth. We serve all people in emotional and spiritual ways. We welcome the diversity of all. God and unity leave no one out. And now, this is the time in our service where we share our love offerings, our tithes and gifts. And there's a number of ways you can do that. You can do it today in person. You can also use the Church Center app, which is really easy. You can give online at www.uscabq.org/give, or you can give by phone, text to give, 84321. And now join me in saying our offering blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Here's a song called There's a River Flowing in My Soul. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul.
Thank you, Soulshine Band. Now please join me in saying our prosperity dedication. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all the needs and desires of Unity Spiritual Center and those we serve are bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good is here now. Thank you, God.
All right, it's time for a congregational song, and let's not forget tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day. this song is about some of the things he stood for, but it's about the things we stand for too. So let's stand up and sing "I Stand for Love." 3. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. There is a cause for every act, and so there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come to stand for love, to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. So I will move and I will climb that mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we made it to the top. Where love will stand for peace, we'll stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We stand for hope, we stand for you. For what is beautiful and true, we stand for hope, we stand for you. Thank you very much. In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room.
The word of the day is inspired. I am inspired when witnessing examples of good. Today, I reflect on the clear vision, powerful words, and courageous actions of leaders such as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I appreciate how one person's example can be used by others to inspire and motivate themselves to move beyond thoughts of limitation and focus on the possibilities for good that are always present. I believe all people are fully divine and fully human. The more we have the sense of our humanity being one with our divinity, we can inspire ourselves to higher levels. I have inspired myself by witnessing people whose vibrant faith and love carried them through even the most challenging circumstances. I guide and direct myself with my powers of imagination, zeal, and discernment. I join with those building a world where each person lives freely and with joy. I am inspired when witnessing examples of good.
And as we think about the words and the message and the life of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, we bring our minds to his dream. A dream of unity, a dream of freedom, a dream where every human being is judged not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. We align ourselves with that dream of one race, one people, one world. A dream where every one of us is empowered to shine our light in our own unique way. Breathing into that and moving deeper into this time of meditation, we unify our consciousness with the divine, with one another, with all creation. I imagine myself standing at the base of a tall mountain. This mountain represents my journey to justice, equity, and peace. At the summit lies a world of harmony and understanding. With each step, I rise higher. With each breath, I feel more grounded in hope. As I climb, I notice there are others around me. Many of whom are climbing with me. Some have stopped, and a few are turning back. But most, myself included, are climbing higher. And each is on their right and perfect path. We all have different ways and different times to climb that mountain. But this one is my time. And I am empowered by knowing that I do not climb alone. I feel the unity of shared purpose, the unity of shared dreams and hopes. I feel true oneness. And so I pause. I pause and look around me. I behold the view and I see the valleys of struggle and the rivers of progress. And I know that every step forward and upward is a rise in consciousness. Every step is closer to the shared vision. I pause. I pause and affirm in my heart these affirmations, allowing them to resonate deeply within me. I have a dream. I have a dream of peace and understanding. I have a dream. I have a dream of equality for all humanity. I have a dream that love will overcome hatred. I have a dream that justice will roll down the waters and righteousness will be like a mighty stream. I breathe that in. I allow the energy of peace and harmony, understanding, equality, and love to fill me, to empower me. Not just as hope, but as an affirmation of what can be, as an affirmation of what truly is already existing in God mind. I recall words I've heard before. As in heaven, so on earth. And so I allow that heavenly consciousness, that dream of equality and peace and hope and understanding and love to manifest in my consciousness, my earth. And when doubts arise, when the fear that this can never be achieved shows its face, I let it go. With my next breath, I release those stones that weigh me down. I allow them to roll away, leaving me free to build, free to create, and free to love. I breathe in courage. I breathe out fear. I breathe in courage until courage infuses every cell of my body. I allow this feeling to bring me to this now moment. And I open my mind to divine mind and say, how can I make this a reality? How can I bring the dream of Martin Luther King and so many others into manifestation? How can I live from my heart? How can I be the light? I rest in silence, knowing that I'm filled with guidance and inspiration from that higher place. As I sit in this peace, on this high mountaintop, kissed by the sun and the gentle breezes, I look upon the valley below me. And I know that regardless of what may be occurring down there, the mountaintop always exists. It is always here for me. And I can return in any moment, in any situation, and remember. Remember that I am peace. I am love. I am understanding. I am a light. I am. And as I breathe that, I know that there is work to do. And so, with all those who have climbed with me, we prepare to return. Return, but not forget. Return empowered, ready, willing, and able to be a force for change. To be that dream expressing. To move from having a dream to living the dream, to being the dream. It starts with me. And as I make that my affirmation, it starts with me. Hope, peace, strength starts with me. Love, understanding, compassion starts with me. Breathing into that, we prepare to move back to this moment, this experience. Ready, willing, and able to open our eyes and to live with the knowledge that right here in this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room. All right, Bill Brooks is here, and he has a great song from a musical by the same guy who wrote Wicked, Stephen Schwartz. It's called The Spark of Creation. Beyond, beyond. It sounds full of wind and mist, doesn't it? It means other things exist, doesn't it? Beyond, beyond. It says, Adam, leave your list, doesn't it? Father, why does my head feel this joy and this dread since the moment I said beyond? I've got an itching on the tips of my fingers. I've got a boiling in the back of my brain. I've got a hunger burning inside me, cannot be denied. I've got a feeling that the Father who made us, when he was kindling a pulse in my veins, he left a tiny spark of that fire smoldering inside. The spark of creation is flickering within me. The spark of creation is blazing in my blood. A bit of the fire that lit up the stars and breathed life into the mud. The first inspiration of the spark of creation. I see a mountain and I want to climb it. I see a river and I want to leave shore. Where there was nothing, let there be something, something made by me. There's things waiting for me to invent them. There's worlds waiting for me to explore. I am an echo of the eternal cry of let there be. The spark of creation is burning bright within me. The spark of creation won't let me rest at all until I discover or build or uncover a thing that I can call my celebration of the spark of creation. The spark of creation, may it burn forever. The spark of creation, I am a keeper of the flame. We think all we want is a lifetime of leisure, each perfect day the same, endless vacation. Well, that's all right if you're a kind of crustacean, but when you're born with an imagination, sooner or later you're feeling the fire get hotter and higher. The spark of creation. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill Brooks and Soul Shine Band. Wow. Spark of creation. What are we creating? No, you don't have to answer that. It's different for everybody. Of course, we have our dream as unity, what we want to create on this earth, peace, love, harmony, all of those things. And in order to do that, we have to start fresh. New Year is a great time to start fresh, but we can start fresh in any moment of every day. And yet at the same time, for many people, the idea of starting something fresh is scary. We talked about this last week. There's a lot of fear. Certainly there's a lot of fear in our world right at the moment about what the future may hold. And just to remind you, we have a choice. We have a choice whether we choose to live in the vibration of fear or the vibration of positive expectation. I know the one I want to live in. It's up to you which you choose to live in. But it's going to be determined by what we believe in. Our belief in power or powers outside of us, or our belief in the power we have within us. And we do have power within us. But make no mistake, you will experience power based on your choice. So we each have the choice then to live in the past, to yearn for what was, to live in the future where we don't know what's going to happen and it's kind of scary maybe, or to live in the now. You see, living in the past, we long for what was. All too often, we only remember the good times, though. We forget that there were challenges and struggles back then just as there are now. Or we can live in the future, which, as I said, is predominantly living in the energy of fear. Or we can choose to envision a wonderful future and live in the moment and work to create that future and bring it into manifestation. That's what we are about, is living in this now moment. As Ram Dass says, being here now. Be here in this energy, in the energy that we create, the energy of positive expectation, the energy of hope, the energy of wonderful, abundant life. Because whatever energy we engage in, whatever energy we possess and give forth is what we create around us. And once we decide to live in the vibration of now, we can begin to create a new life, a new reality. Not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us, for all humanity. And it truly starts within. As we've mentioned already several times today, tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. And Martin Luther King modeled for us what it means to start fresh. If you really look at his life and really study his journey, he began by turning first within. Long before he ever began to lead the civil rights movement, long before he ever shared his dream, he went within. Just as Jesus did, just as Buddha did, just as we are called to do before we begin anything fresh. He went within and created a world, a vision within his own consciousness of what a world of equality and dignity for all would look like. And through his actions then, he began the process of bringing that into manifestation, knowing that his dream was bigger than what could be accomplished in anyone's single lifetime. We're still working on that. But he realized that first it had to begin within. And that's what our lesson is about today, the power of creating within, because that is where creation starts. Always. It starts within. Martin Luther King spoke about the importance of inner transformation being the foundation for social and spiritual progress. He believed that genuine change in a society begins with the transformation of individuals. And he stressed this when he wrote, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." This quote reflects his belief that cultivating love, even in the face of hatred, requires inner strength and inner work. One of his more famous sermons that a lot of people aren't familiar with was entitled, "A Tough Mind and a Tender Heart." He described the need for a balanced spiritual transformation, combining critical thinking with compassion. He said, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole path. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole path. And the first step is inner work. This inner faith helps us persevere through uncertainty. There's no journey that's not going to have some uncertainty. I don't care how many Google Maps you have or anything like that, there's always going to be a level of uncertainty. And I would say this, the more uncertainty there is, the greater possibility for something marvelous to happen is. But we take one step at a time. All we have to know on any journey, be it a spiritual journey or a trip across the country, is the next step. That's all we have to know. Yes, we can have an idea of where we're going. We can have a vision of what we want to create. But we don't know everything we're going to do in between. We only have to know the next step. So that inner faith that we have in that next step empowers us to move through uncertainty, inspires us to grow and to grow with others. King had a vision of what he called the beloved community. And he said the beloved community requires inner transformation. It's interesting to me how he always went back to it starts within us, each one of us. I cannot do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. It starts within us. We want change in the world. It starts within us. Martin Luther King in that sermon said, the end is reconciliation. The end is redemption. The end is the creation of the beloved community. It is this type of spirit and this type of love that transforms opposers into friends. Think about what we're seeing in the world today. It's all about opposition, them and us, whatever that may be. But the beloved community transforms that into one community. Martin Luther King believed that societal change could only happen when we as individuals cultivated forgiveness, when we as individuals cultivated understanding, and when we as individuals had love in our hearts. His commitment to nonviolence was rooted in the idea that nonviolence required internal discipline and a transformational mindset. It starts within. Every single thing. Jesus taught the same thing. Every time that you read about him going into the wilderness, it was a chance to turn within, to ground himself in spirit, to ask, what is the next step? How do I embody and express these divine principles? Getting back to Martin Luther King, he said, nonviolence is not sterile passivity, but a powerful moral force which makes for social transformation. He taught that inner transformation is essential for anything to be effective. So it boils down to turning within, to having some self-examination. He frequently urged people, examine your own thoughts and your own actions to foster transformation. Stop looking at what so-and-so is doing and look at what you are. He said, an individual has not started living until they can rise above the narrow confines of their individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. This self-examination, it gives us the chance to broaden our perspective, to allow for spiritual growth and personal growth. It's not a passive process. It's an ongoing journey. It's an active journey. And this idea was so deeply intertwined in his beliefs, in particular the idea that divine love and human effort together can bring about meaningful change in the world, that it became his sole mission. But again, he recognized and he taught that it all starts within us. It's not about waiting for outer circumstances to change. It's about embracing the power of the Spirit that is already within us. And he wasn't alone in that. He wasn't the first one to ever say that. The Buddha wrote, with our thoughts we make the world. With our thoughts we make the world. What kind of thoughts are we holding? It starts there. Jesus reminded us, as it's written in Revelation, behold, I make all things new. Now, that wasn't the man Jesus coming down and fixing things. That was the Christ consciousness speaking. The Christ consciousness that lives in each and every human being that says, when you turn within to me, to spirit, to divine mind, when you do the inner work, all things are new. Both teachings point us to the same truth. Change is possible when we align with the divine source within us. Know this, no matter where you've been or what you've faced, Spirit is ready to meet you right here and right now where you are. This is the moment you can make a new beginning. And this moment, and this moment, and this moment. There is only the now. Any time you can make a new beginning. So that all sounds wonderful. But then we ask, well, how do I do this? How do I do it? Well, the first step is letting go. Let go of what has been holding us back. Let go of attachment to past ways of being, past experiences, past messages, past ideas. Let go of that. But let's be honest, that's not always easy, is it? Oh, I'm going to let that go. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to grab it because it's comfortable. Sometimes we cling. We cling to old stories. We cling to resentments or fears because they feel familiar. And yet both Buddhists and Christians and many other teachings remind us that holding on to the past only does one thing. It causes suffering. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus said, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Again, that was the Christ speaking through Jesus, saying, come into this consciousness of now. Let go of those burdens, They're weighing you down. They're making you worry. You weary. Well, they're making you worry too. And so to release that, we must surrender to Spirit. Now, that does not mean we deny what happened. We pretend it never existed. That's not what it means at all. It doesn't mean suppressing our feelings. Instead, it means that we are allowed grace, that we can let that flow through us, healing what needs to be healed. The Buddha taught a concept of impermanence, the understanding that all things change, and that clinging to what was only causes pain. He said, let go of the past. Let go of the future. Let go of the present. For with a heart that is free, you will know peace. You will know peace. I kind of, being a geek, I like what Obi-Wan said to Luke in Star Wars. Yoda. Yoda said it. All his life he has looked away, to the future, to the horizon, never his mind on where he was, what he was doing. How often do we do that? Our power, our only power, is in this moment, is in the now. Yoda reminded us that when we live in the future, we may feel fear. We may be filled with fear. And in Star Wars, and actually in life, fear leads to the dark side. Yoda is quoted as saying, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. So how do we release our attachment to the past and the future? Well, in Unity, we use the practice of denials to clear away limiting thoughts. For example, if you feel stuck in fear, you might use this one. Fear has no power over me. Spirit guides my way. Fear has no power over me. Spirit guides my way. Maybe we're carrying resentment, which simply means we're resending that message to our own consciousness over and over and over again. We can use this. I release this hurt, and I open my heart to love. I release this hurt, and I open my heart to love. So now I ask you to ask yourself, what am I ready to release today? What am I ready to release today? As we release, we create space for the infinite goodness of Spirit to flow into our lives. Jesus said this, you cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. You can only pour it into something new. If you pour it into something old, that wineskin, I know most of us don't use wineskins anymore, but they would rupture and all the wine would leak out. We have to create a new receptacle. And that new receptacle in this work is our consciousness. Letting go is an act of faith. It is trusting that God's plan for us is greater than anything we can leave behind. So once we've done that, then we can connect to the power within us. In Unity, we call it the Christ consciousness, the awareness that we are one with God, that divine wisdom and love, power and creativity flow through us. Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. In traditional Christianity, we think, oh, it's going to be up there. I might find it when I die if I'm good enough. No, it's here. It's now. It's within you. It's like that old spaghetti sauce. It's in there. Some of us are old enough to remember that. It is. This teaching is also echoed in Buddhist philosophy. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. It comes from within. So often we look outside of ourselves for the answers and we think, oh, if only my circumstances would change, then I'd be happy. Oh, if only politics would change, then I'd be happy. If only the economy would change, then I'd be happy. If only I could lose another 5 pounds, then I'd be happy. And the list goes on and on and on. It's time to release the if-onlys. And maybe replace it with what if? What if I'm smart enough? What if I'm good looking enough? What if I'm powerful enough? What if Spirit works through me? What if? See, true change doesn't begin out there. It begins in here, in the sanctuary of our own hearts. Not the room, the sanctuary, although it can happen here. But it starts in here, in our own hearts. And the way we connect to that is, who knows? Meditation. Meditation is the heart and soul, as funny as it sounds, of going into the heart, of connecting with soul, of remembering what and who we are. In meditation, we quiet the mind and we tune to the still, small voice of Spirit. And it is there that we find clarity and inspiration to create a new beginning. Let's just try it now for a second. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable. Take a deep breath. And tune out anything outside of you, except maybe my voice. Place your hand on your heart if you want to, and silently affirm, the presence of God is here within me. The presence of God is here within me. I am whole. I am divine. I am ready. I am whole. I am divine. And I am ready. When you are ready, take a breath and open your eyes. Can you feel it? Do you feel whole? Do you feel divine? Do you feel ready? If not, go home and do it some more. Because you are. You are. So as we turn within, then, the other faculty we can use is our power of imagination. We create an image of what we want to see in our world. It's a divine gift. It allows us to see beyond current circumstances and envision what Spirit is calling us to create. In Ephesians, it says, God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to the power that is at work within us. It's at work within you right now. So imagine if you could make a fresh start in life. No matter how good your life is, there's always room for better, right? Oh, God, I'm glad somebody said yes. There's always room for better, always room for greater. Maybe your life is perfect, but the world isn't yet. And maybe Spirit's calling on you to be a part of making the world better. Whatever it is, ask yourself, what does that better life look like? What does it feel like? Don't worry about the how. Get into the vibration of it as if it already exists, because it does in Spirit. It already exists in God mind. Our only job is to bring it from God mind into manifestation. Which brings us to our third step, co-creating with Spirit. We've released the past, we've connected to Spirit within, and now it's time to step into action. That's our fifth principle in unity, action. It is the idea that our thoughts, our words, and our beliefs shape our reality. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said, "You can create new habits of thought by repeating statements of truth, affirming that you are divine and that you have all the attributes of God." You are divine and have all the attributes of God. That is true for every human being that has ever lived or ever will live. When we get into that consciousness, not from a place of ego, but from a place of understanding, we begin to change not only our world, but the world for everybody. We empower others to rise into that same awareness. So there's three steps we can take to do that. The first is clarify our vision. Clarify our vision. Write down your intention as if it already is. Not someday I'm going to be. now I am. An example, I am thriving in divine health and surrounded by loving relationships. You'll notice we start every one of those affirmations with 2 words, I am. That's your God self name. I am. When Moses asked, who are you? He said, I am that I am. I am. I am this spark of God expressing in the world. I am thriving in divine health and surrounded by loving relationships. Then we affirm our truth. We speak affirmations to anchor this in our vision daily. We can say things like, I am guided by divine wisdom. I am worthy of joy, peace, and abundance. And then we take inspired action. We listen for guidance and take small intentional steps. So many times we think, well, if we're going to make a difference in our own lives or in the world, we have to do something big. No. One little tiny step at a time. That's all we have to do. And know that God is our partner in this process. In Buddhism, they call that right effort. The idea that we move forward with mindfulness, with intention, trusting that each step is part of a greater journey. So in conclusion, a fresh start begins now. For me, it starts right now. Not when conditions are right, not when I think I'm ready, not when I have enough time, money, education, experience, or whatever. It starts right now. I invite you to remember that a fresh start is always available. Every moment, every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break. I couldn't resist. Is a step to the future, to the now, to creating something anew. Seriously, there's a message in those words. Every breath you take is a chance to turn within, to breathe in that reminder of spirit, that remembrance of who and what you are, that life force. Every move you make is a chance to make a new move, to take the next step to making a wonderful life manifest. Every bond we break, our bondage to the past, to the old messages, to the old ideas that no longer serve us. It's a chance to make new, empowering bonds to spirit. And every step we take is a step towards the dream of what we want as individuals, the dream of what Martin Luther King wanted, the dream of what Spirit is calling us to be, to create a new reality. The Buddha reminded us that each morning we are made again. We are born again. What we do today is what matters most. So take a deep breath and affirm with me. I'll say it and then we'll repeat it. I am ready for my fresh start. Together? I am ready for my fresh start. I create from within. Guided by Spirit and rooted in love. Myrtle Fillmore wrote, we are here to be the light, to express life, and to be our highest and best selves. You are that light. You are that expression of divine life. So go forward today knowing that Spirit is ready, willing, and able to create something new and beautiful for you and through you. Namaste.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying, you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaken, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yeah, just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah, yeah. Keep on moving, keep climbing, keep the faith, baby. It's all about the climb. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, Bill Brooks. You are walking in the light of God. 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 You are walking, 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 walking in the light of God. You are walking, 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 walking in the light of God. You are walking, 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 walking in the light of God. You are walking, 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 walking in the light of God.
Ooh, thank you for that extra round, guys. We were so deep in prayer that we came a little late, but it was beautiful and it was really good, so thank you. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So you notice we're a little low. You remember to hold our youth in your prayers this weekend. They are in San Antonio at their rally, so we just hope that they've had a wonderful time. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And so we just had a little bit of fun today. Do either of you guys want to talk about what we did today? That's okay. We didn't do too much. We played with Legos, right? We read a book. What the book taught. Excuse me, I can't talk today. What did the book teach us about? Do you remember? No, we're not going to talk in front. So we just learned about right and wrong, and thanking God for helping us see that this week. So that was basically our thing. But yeah, quick and easy. But our hearts are definitely with the youth in San Antonio. So would you guys join me in blessing our kids today?
Thank you. And now, before we stand and say our prayer for protection and peace song, I'd like to remind you and invite you to Soul Share this evening at 6:30. If you want to go deeper into what we talked about and learn some real practical application and tools to create anew, to create from within, this will be your opportunity to do it. I just want to clarify, it's not a service. It's an experiential time of sharing and exploring. So let's do that. Yep, stay warm. See y'all.
Also, just to remind you guys, we're still selling burritos if you guys are interested. So we will have Dan at the back, and Glenda is helping as well. So if you guys still want to sign up or pay for ones that you've already signed up for, they'll be at the table in the back as well.
Thank you, Tiffany. And remember, we're going to let the kids, I was going to say escape. We're going to let the kids go out before we all go out, so we'll sing them out. Now let's do our prayer for protection and our peace song.
Light of God
Surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is swoovy.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. 2, 3, 4. This is the day to walk in the light. This is the day to walk in the light. This is the day to walk in the light. Walking in the light of God. Wherever you go, walk in the light. Wherever you go, walk in the light. Wherever you go, walk in the light. Walking in the light of, walking in the light of, walking in the light of God.